What's up, everybody? This is the Week 3 cheat sheet with Peter Schrager. Let's start with my first point. Number 1, is it a crazy statement to say that Cooper Kupp might be the best wide receiver in the NFL? Ooh, I feel the pushback already from the Davante Adams camp, the Stephon Diggs camp, the DeAndre Hopkins camp. You name the star wide receiver. There's Tyreek Hill fans out there. Cooper Kupp might be the most complete and versatile wide receiver in the entire sport. He was good with Jared Goff. He's great with Matthew Stafford. He leads the NFL in catches with 16. Last week, he went for 163 yards and 2 tugs. And I'll tell you what, he also might be the best blocking wide receiver in the entire NFL. Like I said, chemistry was good with Goff. It's great with Stafford. And this week he's going up against a defense that is wonderful in the front 7 from Tampa, but might have some sore spots and some guys that he can take advantage of out there in the defensive backfield. I'm a big Cooper Kupp fan. It's year number 5 for him. This is his 3rd year removed from ACL surgery, and I think he is outstanding. I know he's not the popular name. Cooper Kupp might be the best wide receiver in the entire sport. Number 2, you look at the standings and you see the Arizona Cardinals are at 2-0. You're like, they must be playing great. Cardinals did not play great in week 2, and that is not going to be a way to win games moving forward. Let's just go through some of the things that happened. Kyler Murray threw a pick 6. Kyler Murray threw another interception. They had a roughing the punter penalty that was inexplicable that gave Minnesota the ball back. And then last but not least, on the final offensive drive, they had Kyler Murray with 2 minutes left. It runs out of bounds when they were winning the game, giving the Vikings a chance to move the ball up the field. And yet they are 2-0, and they are playing the Jacksonville Jaguars this week. I think that the Arizona Cardinals are going to end up being somewhere between what we saw in week 1 when they absolutely clobbered the Titans on the road and what they were in week 2 where they needed a missed field goal from 37 yards from the Vikings kicker to survive with a victory in their home opener. I don't know what to make of the Cardinals right now. They're 2-0. They're probably going to go 3-0. But if they're really going to compete in that loaded NFC West, they got to be more like week 1 than they were in week 2. Number 3, let's talk about the Los Angeles Chargers. All right, preseason, a lot of hype. Offensive Rookie of the Year in Justin Herbert. Derwin James is back. They've got fans in the stadium. They got a new coach. They got a new offensive coordinator who worked with Drew Brees. All the 10 offensive penalties last week, Chargers. Not going to win many games that way. But worse and maybe more concerning, they gave up 198 yards on the ground to the Dallas Cowboys. Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard were running at will. And this is against a defensive front that we were told is going to be stout. Okay, you got 1 first-round pick in Joey Bosa, who I didn't see in the game. Then another first-round pick I'm a little bit more concerned about, that's Jerry Tillery. He was a Notre Dame player who was taken in 2019 in the first round. He's supposed to be your run-stuffing defensive end. Did nothing in this game, did nothing. So before we crown the Chargers, which we seem to do every summer, they need to tighten some things up. They won the first game against Washington, but they're not going to win any more games if they commit 10 offensive penalties and give up nearly 200 yards on the ground. Oh, they play the Chiefs this weekend. They better tighten some of that stuff up if they're going to compete with that Kansas City offense. Number 4, in our constant search for the NFL's comeback player of the year, we often look at the quarterback position or star running backs like Saquon or Christian McCaffrey. Let me put Courtland Sutton's name in the conversation just 2 weeks into the season. Week 1 had 1 catch, that's all good, it's fine, they won the game. Week 2, Courtland Sutton had his big coming out party. He went nuts, and it was a 55-yard pass late in the 3rd quarter from Teddy Bridgewater to Courtland Sutton that really set Denver up for their victory against Jacksonville. Week 3, they play the Jets, and with Jerry Jeudy out with the injury and Teddy Bridgewater getting a little bit more comfort with Courtland Sutton, I think you can envision Courtland Sutton having another big day. The Jets defense, they're not terrible. I mean, I know they gave up some points, but they are not terrible. And yet I think Courtland Sutton comes back to that building where he had only 1 catch in week 1 and does a little bit more in week 3. Courtland Sutton, an early dark horse for comeback player of the year, and a great kid too. All right, America's game of the week. Tom Brady plays the Rams on Fox. We're gonna have Joe and Troy and Aaron and the gang all on it, and I can't wait. And everything you're going to read this week is that this is Tom Brady's first game ever being played in Los Angeles, which seems like a crazy, crazy possibility, but it is the truth if you're talking NFL. Now, you see, Tom Brady actually was on the Michigan Wolverines roster when they beat the Washington State Cougars in the 1998 Rose Bowl. Brian Griese started that game, And Tom Brady never entered, but he dressed, he was there, he wore the pads, he celebrated a Rose Bowl victory, and Pasadena technically is Los Angeles. So, if anyone tells you this week that this is Tom Brady's first ever football game in Los Angeles, be sure to be that obnoxious person who says, well, actually, and then get into the fact that he actually dressed in a Rose Bowl in which he won, and our guy from Fox Sports, Charles Woodson, led the way. So yes, Tom Brady has played in a game in Los Angeles before, but then again, did he actually play? All right, debate that at home. Brady's been to a game in Los Angeles before. It was in 1998. That's my final take. The cheat sheet. Enjoy it, folks.